today, from Ford Field in Detroit, this is Madden Football on EA Sports. Taking on Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Ford Field. Fields it right around the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Well, here come the Bills, and you don't have to look hard to find their fifth-year star QB, taken 7th overall back in 2018, Josh Allen.
And in this league, there are many quarterbacks who have their most success running the ball, while there are others who have big arms. There aren't too many guys who can do both, and at the end of many games, this guy leads his team not just in passing, but in rushing as well.
Allen looking to throw it right at the outset. Got it complete to Khalil Shakir. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, they stick with Singletary. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They go right back to Singletary. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. from midfield. Here's Allen. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 24-yard line. Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Allen now on first down. Over the middle, complete. That's McKenzie. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
On second down, here's a run with Singletary. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Allen looks to throw on 3rd and 1. And he completes it to the tight end, Knox. And the Bills are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Now Allen toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer, but he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Allen now on 3rd and goal. That's caught at the 1. Touchdown, Bills. Dawson Knox, a touchdown grab from Josh Allen. And the Bills get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. That was a big throw right there on 3rd and goal.
And the defense has to be prepared for you to throw the ball on 3rd and goal. Because really, 2nd down, 2nd and goal, that's your play action time, and you're not sure whether they're going to run it or throw it. 3rd down, you're usually sure they're probably going to pass it. Even more impressive that they got it done. And on the opening drive of the game.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Detroit gets set to go on offense, and it will be the 7th-year pro out of Cal, Jared Goff, leading the attack in his 2nd season as a Lion.
And at one point, the ascension of Jared Goff was really, really strong. Back-to-back Pro Bowls, took his team to the Super Bowl, and came really within 1 quarter of winning it. But since that time, he's had bouts of inconsistency, and that's been the struggle for him as he tries to get back to the form he showed earlier in his career.
Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Play action. It's Goff. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards, the final tally.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. First carry for DeAndre Swift. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the 50, it's Goff. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
Throwing on 3rd, Goff. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Allen. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 27th, Allen. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
This offense so far on third down, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This time it's 3rd and 3. Allen hit. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. In their locker room, they've got a sign that says defense wins championships. And Charles, they pointed to that this week, said that has to be us. Looking good early.
I like how you saw that because of the bold letters, right? You saw the emphasis that they place on that and what they believe in. And for them, it's every single snap. So it's not just a matter of getting to the quarterback and knocking the ball free. They're trying to read when that ball's going to come free. As soon as those hands separate to throw the ball, they want to be there and have a chance to knock it out.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Goff. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Goff, a handoff here to Swift. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. That'll net 7 yards on the ground, but it'll leave him with a healthy distance still to go on 3rd down.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe. So it is a 60-yard attempt here. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this will stay at a 7-point game. Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Well, they gave the 60-yarder a try, didn't make it, and now they're in a tough position defensively. This offense has it at midfield. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throw right side, caught by Davis. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Allen. He's got it complete to Stefon Diggs. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
Those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Second and 20. They'll run a draw now with Singletary. Down to about the 22 here. A good positive play there, 9 yards, but still third and long.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
They run here with Singletary. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. Devin Singletary, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Bills go up by 2 touchdowns. They go I formation. Fullback leads the way for the touchdown. Sort of a lost art, isn't it?
It really is, but sometimes when you're able to bring it back and use it against other teams, they're not prepared for it. They haven't seen it in a while, and now you gain an advantage, and we just saw that advantage result in a touchdown.
Tyler Bass now for the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it was finished off by a Devin Singletary touchdown run. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And Detroit getting set to go now.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now a first down throw. Goff. Over the middle, the catch made by Mitchell. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Second and 2. Now Goff. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Reynolds. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
A play fake for Swift. Now Goff. And he wants Reynolds way downfield.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Josh Reynolds, 51 yards.
And the Lions get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good.
And that'll make our score 14-7. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Bills going to take over now late in this first half. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Shoves him aside.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
Only needing 2 yards on second down.
To the air, Allen. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Charles Harris. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Like the footwork back there, and I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss.
A final shot before half for Allen.
And that is incomplete. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much. And welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports halftime report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far and certainly plenty to look forward to as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And the Lions getting set to go on offense to start the third. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
So it was already a gain on the completion, but tack on some more with that penalty.
Absolutely. No matter what angle you're making the tackle from, you can't grab the face mask, and that's just putting your defense on its heels just a little bit more.
Now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's Goff. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
First down, and they go with Swift again. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Once again, it's Swift. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Back to throw, Goff. This pass complete to Reynolds. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
On 1st and 10, Goff.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
They'll fake the give. Now Goff. That is caught. Josh Reynolds. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Josh Reynolds, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Lions are an extra point away from drawing level.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And we are tied at 14.
So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays.
And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. So already not the best of kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
Throwing on 1st down is Allen. And Diggs has it. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
To throw again on 2nd down. Allen. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted.
Picked by Jeff Okudah.
And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
So out now come the Lions.
They'll have very good starting field position here as they try to break our tie, and they start 1st and 10.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Goff. Throw left side complete. That's Reynolds.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Now Goff.
St. Brown making the catch on the out route. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Ball on the 8, it's 2nd and 4. They will run straight ahead with Swift. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
That's an excellent stop right there here in this tie game. They're doing their best to hold the fort and at least force a field goal attempt.
They'll run with Swift. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They will run it with Swift here. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard on the gain there as time will run out on this 3rd quarter of play. So with a 4th and goal looming, we hit the end of 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. Badgley able to punch this one through. And they take a 17-14 lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. McKenzie now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Yeah, here come the Bills. And they really need to forget about their last time out, the turnover that led to a field goal. So now they try to regroup, trailing in the final quarter. Obviously, they'd love a touchdown, but 3 would suffice. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. He'll give it to Singletary here to start the drive.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Here's Allen to throw it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I am willing to bet that he got a monster grin on his face when he saw what was happening. Man coverage was so committed to denying a big throw that it pulled attention away from him, and he had an easy lane to hit, and hit it he did.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. On play action, Allen. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets them a first down.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a halt. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against a front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Allen. He'll get this one complete to Davis. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills have tied the game here in the 4th. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
(17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. Taken in at the 3. And able to get this out to the 25. Detroit's offense ready to take over. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this 4th quarter. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now it's Goff. Got his man complete over the middle. It's right. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up second down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Off play action. Here's Goff. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Goff now looks to throw.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
Buffalo offense back out ready to go. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Singletary to get the drive started. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Allen. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. That's some good yardage there, too, before he fumbled that football, Charles.
Yeah, just think about it this way. Running backs, as a general rule, they kind of know when the end of a run is near, and you notice how they cover up, right? They protect the football. Sometimes quarterbacks forget that out in the open field. After a while, you start to wonder, does the running back coach visit the quarterback coach and say, hey, I can help you with this? We can protect this and make sure we keep the ball.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Now it's Goff. And he'll just get rid of it.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Goff. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's right.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Goff now to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And the Bills will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Major used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Allen. And that's complete to McKenzie. And he'll go out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's second down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Allen. That's caught by Shakir and brought down, but not before reaching the 25. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down. What a big tackle there defensively.
One of the most difficult things for a defender to do, and think about the speed that he brought down. If he gets away, he's likely gone.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. Here's Allen. He gets this complete to Diggs, and he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Allen. Into the hands of Singletary. Oh, and a nice tackle, a 6-yard pickup, but they need more than that. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Throwing is Allen. He'll get this to Devin Singletary out of the backfield. And they will get another first down here up near midfield. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Well, I'm no coach, but there's just not time right now for throws that short.
Yeah, sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. As Coach Madden liked to say, sometimes you have to take what you want.
And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Allen to throw. Finding Knox there, complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll make it second down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So all eyes now on Tyler Bass. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. This from Tom Dempsey range here. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And that changes everything here in OT. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So the Bills going to be the first to get it as we are back underway here in overtime. McKenzie now from his end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. He wasn't able to really get anything going in regulation. Maybe it'll be a little different story here in overtime.
And it appears that with that call, they want to establish the run in overtime, try and set the tone for what they're going to get done. And you're right, maybe it didn't work so well in regulation. Overtime could be the charm. And by the way, yards count either way.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Third and 1, trying to keep this drive in overtime going. A big one coming up. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
63 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
First throw of overtime for Allen. And that is nearly intercepted. Oh, that would have changed things here in overtime, but instead, it's just 2nd down.
Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. They've had some success here in overtime on this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you, and until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there available to him.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulder square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. Allen now on first down. A quick throw going to be caught by Diggs. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Brandon, that's a huge completion there. That puts them in field goal range, but let's face it, they don't want 3 here. They want 6. Well, with these overtime rules, a touchdown finishes it off.
Yeah, looking to win it right away. Good to know, though, that they have 3 in their back pocket if they need it. They'll run on first down with Singletary. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Allen. He's got it. And the Bills are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Here's Allen. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play. We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league, they take particular delight in their red zone calls because those are the payoff ones. But you can't call a play if your team doesn't have the ball. Got to secure it.
Very fortunate to get another shot. Here's 2nd and goal. Another try after the first down sack. Allen escaping the pressure right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Allen now looks to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
No, there certainly was a lot going on that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. The kick by Bass is good. And the Bills have taken the lead. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here come the Lions now.
Well, it's pretty simple now. They need a field goal out of this drive to extend overtime, or obviously, Charles, a touchdown to win it.
Yeah, and I'm taking the defense's perspective on this one, partner, because now they know with a 3-point lead, they can afford to give that up because you just keep playing, right? Overtime gets extended. But if you give up the touchdown, it's game over. So on offense, every play you make, you've got to try and get just a little bit more out of each one in order to try and get to the end zone, because they're going to play everyone back, keep everything in front.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Goff.
He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And this is not going to be what they needed. They get a few here, but now 3rd down as the clock runs. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. To throw is Goff. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Better ball security, but not much else to show for it.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
From the gun, here's Goff. Complete to right. So 8 yards on the completion there, and this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, here comes Swift. A nice little juke. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 38. Goff. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard.
Swift going to try up the middle.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
On first down, it's Goff. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Reynolds. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up second down. So a little chunk there on first as they try to chip away down 3 in overtime.
I like your description. Chip away, down 3. You don't have to get it all in one big play, although obviously that would be nice. But there's no need to have that type of risk associated with it. Run your offense, get first downs, get yourself in a position where you know you're going to at least get 3 and keep this game going. If you get 6, so much the better.
And the Lions are going to be set up with a first and goal. It's a nice run there. Gets them down to the 6-yard line.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Here's Swift.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. Defensively, they must have been expecting a pass. They were in the dime look out there.
I think maybe they were deciding to go with speed on the field rather than bulk. I'm with you, a little bit surprising, but they wanted people getting to the ball as fast as possible. The lighter, shiftier defensive backs allow you that opportunity.
Swift.
And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. A great game partner, spectacular finish. They needed at least a field goal to keep the game alive. They do one better. They get it in the end zone and end it.
And I don't know about you, but I'm worn out. That type of a game takes it all out of us as well, not just the guys on the field. What a tremendous finish, and as you noted, were they going to go and try and get 3 and keep the game going? And that wasn't good enough for them. They got the touchdown, and that's why we're able to say goodbye.
But Charles, a very simple mission anytime that you play.
Field is vital.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Lions as we say so long from Ford Field.